Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Robin Zimmerman. We're bringing you our show once again from downtown Beaufort at the Pat Conroy Literary Center. We've got a great lineup of guests, so stay tuned. Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm Robin Zimmerman. With me as our first guest is Jonathan Haupt. He is the executive director of this fabulous Pat Conroy Literary Center here in downtown Beaufort. Jonathan, good to see you again.
You too, Robin.
How have you been?
Been great. We've been very busy here at the Conroy Center.
Have you?
As people have discovered the new location.
The new location,
yeah.
And of course the weather's warming up, and so a lot of tourists, and you're doing a lot of tours?
It's been incredible, yeah. Both during our open hours, which again are Thursday through Sunday, noon to 4, and also off hours private tours, been very popular so far, too.
Good, that's great. Well, we're here specifically today to talk about Camp Conroy, which is going to be in July. And what Jonathan has shared with me earlier, it's going to be hybrid this year. So there'll be some students actually live at Beaufort Middle, and then there'll be some online. So what is the breakup? How many will you have in person? And then how are you preparing for this hybrid approach?
Well, last year we had to go all virtual and kind of make it up as we went along, and ended up having a really wonderful time and having kids who are nowhere near Beaufort County who were able to participate. And we wanted to honor that this year too. So our breakdown is roughly, we're planning on to have about 20 students in person with us at Beaufort Middle School, our wonderful partner once again this year, and then another 10 or so remotely joining us on Zoom. And we want to make sure that we're giving a more or less equivalent experience to both sets of campers.
Now, it's going to be July the 12th, Jonathan, and then the closing event will be on Saturday the 24th. Can you give me just kind of a high-level look at what that week would look like for the students?
Sure. Yeah, that's 2 weeks. 2 weeks of instruction and camp activities, which is what we've been doing the past 3 years we've done this. And the point of Camp Conroy is really sort of an artistic collaboration. So our campers will be writing, researching, illustrating, and designing a book together, a publication that we'll actually create after the camp.
Right.
And we pick a theme every year, and this year our instructor team settled on Free to be, right. And that sort of grew out of this COVID experience where people have felt very confined and very limited in what they can do versus what they might have been doing a year ago. And we really wanted to give our young artists and writers a chance to respond to that, to think about what freedom means as the world starts to open up to them again.
Love that. And you're going to weave that in with all the instructors throughout the entire 2 weeks?
It becomes the overall theme of the camp, so it's really up to the campers themselves to decide what that means and how they want to reflect it in their writing and their artwork, and also the ways that they'll interact with each other. We have 4 main instructors. I'm one of them. Lisa Ann Cullen, Miho Kinnis, and Robin Prince Monroe are all with us again. They're all fantastic teachers and writers and creators in many ways. And then we add to the experience a group of guest instructors who may come in for an afternoon or a morning to do kind of a special lesson with the kids as well. And we'll see what they want to do with the theme too, where we have no particular expectations.
Yeah, I like that.
As to what that means to anyone. We're going to discover it together over those 2 weeks.
That's wonderful, and let them explore what it means to them.
Yeah.
So to register, and perhaps there's some students that can't afford, because it's, I think, $300 for the 2 weeks.
Okay. $300 for the 2 weeks.
Right.
And we have, as we've done every year, we have scholarships available. A few already because of some really wonderful donors, but there's also an opportunity for other folks to give and sponsor a child at that $300 level, or even a partial scholarship, or to sponsor an instructor instead. But all of that information, how to register a student, how to apply for a scholarship, or how to give a scholarship, are all in one central location, Camp Conroy 2021.eventbrite.com, which is our registration page.
Okay, and so this is your 4th year, and what is your excitement about it? What are you really anticipating this to be? You've been in person, then you've been not in person, and now you've got the hybrid. So are you really looking forward to it in particular this year?
I am. This camp is always so exciting for us at Camp Conroy because we enter into it sort of thinking we know what it's going to be, and then the kids decide what it's going to be over the course of the 2 weeks. And it becomes what they need it to be. Last year, when we were all remote, they needed to talk about that. They needed to talk about their sense of isolation and their anxieties, and their artwork and their storytelling was a way for them to do that. So I'm excited to see what's on their minds this summer when we get around to July.
And you have, what is that, Jonathan?
This is last year's book.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is Stretching Skyward, which is the book that our campers created together last year during our entirely virtual camp. So they never got to see each other in person, but in the end they were still able to create a book together.
Do you think some of the students will be back?
I hope so.
Okay.
We've had a few campers who've been with us almost every year.
Okay.
And Holland Perryman, our camp counselor, will be back with us again
course.
this year as well.
Well, it'll be great, as always. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Everything you're doing for the students, for the future writers of tomorrow. So we'll be right back with North of the Broad.